Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 582 based on novel. So let's start. The moon hung above the extreme sky prairie and their stars were thin. The bright moonlight shined on the earth, causing the prairie to be enveloped in a silver light. It looked very beautiful from afar. There was an unspeakable sense of peace and nothing to indicate that a great battle between tens of thousands of cultivators had taken place here during the day. There were no corpses remaining on the earth. The bodies and souls of the dead cultivators had been devoured completely by the fog. It looked no different from before. Only the trace of a bloody aura showed how devastating the battle was. The moonlight could shine on the earth but was unable to penetrate the underground palace. Wang Lin was sitting inside a cave that was dark without any light. Even Wang Lin's figure seemed to have become one with the darkness. Wang Lin had paid a big price to kill Liu Jiyuan, from calculating everything before the battle to the final blow. Right now, his face was pale and he was cultivating with his eyes closed. After an unknown amount of time, Wang Lin slowly opened his eyes, and they lit up. It was as if there were two balls of fire in his eyes lighting up the cave. Wang Lin now had a profound understanding of the danger of killing a void turbulent cultivator, just like how others found it difficult to kill him. Liu Jiyuan had many other spells and treasures that he never got to use. Wang Lin's timing was just too vicious, otherwise, the result could have been different. 10 early-stage void turbulent, 3 mid-stage void turbulent. The task old ancestor Green Bull has given me is quite difficult, Wang Lin silently pondered. In fact, when he had agreed to the 3 conditions, he already understood the challenge. The reason he had agreed was because Wang Lin was unwilling to owe them for the 3 gifts. Just the gift of the water essence was the same as giving him a whole new essence. If he had relied on himself to comprehend and gather the essence, it would have simply been too difficult, as shown with Wang Lin's fire and thunder essences. Therefore, the weight of the gifts made it impossible for him to refuse. As for the space stone, although it looked normal, Wang Lin had a vague feeling that it was not as simple as it was on the surface. It had a lot of space inside and was very mysterious. There was also the final gift, the one use of divination. It would help Wang Lin greatly in a crisis and could even reverse the entire situation. These 3 gifts were heavy, and since Wang Lin had accepted them, then he had to repay the sect. There are still 9 more early-stage void turbulent cultivators to go. If I can kill 1, then I can certainly kill 9 more. The most important thing is killing the 3 mid-stage void turbulent cultivators. Even if I explode the 30 million Dao soul, it can only kill 1. As for the remaining 2, Wang Lin frowned, but he didn't back down. There was a flash cold light in his eyes. Old ancestor Green Bull gave me these 3 conditions thinking I won't be able to complete them in a short period of time. He thinks it will take a long time. However, I don't want to get too involved in the matter between the Heavenly Bull continent and the Green Devil continent. I must complete the 3 conditions as soon as possible and cut my connection with the Great Soul sect, then leave this place. Wang Lin looked down at this body that has fused with the darkness in the cave. Just at this moment, Wang Lin suddenly raised his head and looked outside the cave. His gaze seemed to penetrate the cave and look outside. At this moment, the underground palaces were silent and only the sounds of breathing could be heard. There was some light from the moonstones that were placed here. In the dim light, a woman's silhouette arrived from the distance like smoke and stood outside Wang Lin's cave. She looked at Wang Lin's cave hesitantly. After silently pondering for a long time, she was about to speak when Wang Lin's calm voice came from the cave. Fellow cultivator Yang Lu has come to visit me in the depths of the night. Why hesitate outside? Please come in. As Wang Lin's words scattered, the door to the cave silently opened, revealing a gap. The gap was completely dark and it was impossible to see anything inside. From Yang Lu's location, the gap in the door was a mouth that would devour one's heart, waiting for her to enter. After pondering a bit more, Yang Lu clenched her teeth. She had doubts in her heart, and if it didn't get cleared up, she wouldn't be able to calm her heart down. She turned into smoke and entered through the gap in the door. The moment she entered, the door to the cave closed, leaving not a sliver of an opening. When the door of the cave closed, Yang Lu immediately stopped moving. She looked ahead. Unless one had used their cultivation on their eyes, it would still be dark in here. She could vaguely see Wang Lin's figure sitting in the distance, and it gave her a lot of pressure. The root of this pressure came from the 2 bets she had made in the Soul Scripture Pavilion. Looking ahead, Yang Lu noticed a hint of killing intent. This killing intent was very light and not targeted at her. This was a natural aura released because the other person present had just returned after killing. Only cultivators could faintly notice this aura. Yang Lu didn't know why, but the moment she felt the killing intent, the figure of Liu Jiyuan appeared in her mind. His death and various things played in her eyes like a fantasy. She seemed to have seen Wang Lin kill Liu Jiyuan in a short period of time. Fellow cultivator Yang Lu, it is late into the night and you're just standing in my cave not saying a word. Do you plan on standing there all night? Wang Lin said in a calm voice. Yang Lu pondered a bit and then her voice slowly echoed inside the cave. Did you kill the early-stage void turbulent cultivator from the Green Devil continent? It must have been you. In this cave palace, aside from Elder Lu Wenran, no one else could have done it in such a short period of time. If there is anyone, it must be you. Other doesn't know how powerful you are, but I'm well aware, Yang Lu said softly as she looked at Wang Lin, who was hiding in the shadows. Wang Lin, was it you? Wang Lin pondered a bit and calmly replied, no comment. There wasn't the slightest fluctuation, as if everything was normal. After hearing what Wang Lin said, Yang Lu smiled. She moved a few strands of her hand behind her ears with her jade-like hand. She looked at Wang Lin and spoke softly. I don't know why you won't admit it. Your aura is unstable and you obviously paid the price. After all, a void turbulent cultivator won't die so easily. If you need help, I can provide it. The premise is that once we kill a void turbulent cultivator, we split the benefits in half. Sorry to disturb you, I hope Elder Wang doesn't mind. This is my show of sincerity and goodwill. This was the real reason Yang Lu had come. She took out a pill and placed it on the ground before bowing to Wang Lin. A gentle gust of wind blew by the entrance of the cave and she disappeared. In the end, Wang Lin's response to Yang Lu's constant questions contained only 2 simple words to. After Yang Lu left, Wang Lin opened his eyes and 2 firelight lights shined in the dark cave. He looked at the door to the cave, at Yang Lu's back, and he pondered. He waved his right hand and the pill flew toward him. He carefully examined the pill. This pill gave off bursts of fragrance. It was clearly an extraordinary pill used for healing. Wang Lin slowly revealed a smile. Time slowly passed. Soon, 2 days went by. The Green Devil Continent cultivators at the edge of the extreme sky prairie were very quiet and didn't start a second battle. They seemed to be waiting for something and continued to send dozens of people to observe the prairie. Cultivators were also sent out from the underground palace to patrol outside. There were some conflicts, but no large-scale battles. The cultivators that were sent out were the 3 old men. The old man named Ju was the person in charge of this. Aside from the void turbulent cultivators, all the remaining cultivators were sent out to patrol. The cultivators that hadn't gone out to patrol were all immersed in cultivation to keep themselves at their peak for the next battle. All the Heavenly Bull Continent cultivators understood that the Green Devil Continent wouldn't give up so easily. Ordinary cultivators could ignore this matter, but as the person with the highest cultivation level here, Lu Wenran looked up with a flash of worry in his eyes. From his view, this matter was strange. The cultivators from the Green Devil Continent were likely waiting for reinforcements. If that were the case, there would be big changes here. The matter of who had killed the enemy's void turbulent cultivator was still lingering in his heart. He ruled out candidates one by one until he returned to his earliest speculation of Wang Lin. Although he didn't believe Wang Lin had the ability, this was a matter of great importance. He summoned one of the 3 old men, Ju. After giving some orders, the old man named Ju walked out of the cave. During these 2 days of time, Wang Lin had recovered a lot. On the dusk of the 2nd day, another guest after Yang Lu arrived outside his cave. It was another uninvited guest. Fellow cultivator Wang Lin from the Great Soul Sect. I ask fellow cultivator to stop cultivating and patrol for the night. The person who spoke was the old man named Ju who had listened to the order from Lu Wenran. At this moment, he was outside Wang Lin's cave. He looked calm and he spoke coldly like he couldn't be questioned. The old man named Ju never considered Wang Lin worthy. Although Wang Lin was an elder, his cultivation level was too low. He assumed Wang Lin had used some connections to get the status of elder. This kind of thing was not uncommon in the sects across the immortal astral continent. Many people with low cultivation levels had the position of elder. They were not valued by the sect and were merely for show. Once this kind of person entered the battlefield, they would reveal their true form. The old man named Ju looked down upon such a person. Although his expression didn't show it, his cold words did. I didn't see him achieve any merit in the battle before, but for Elder Lu to appoint him to patrol, there must be some deeper meaning. I fear this person is so disliked in the Great Soul Sect that even someone with a high status like Elder Lu can't stand him. The old man named Ju thought about this as he stood outside Wang Lin's door. He was good at reading the situation. This Wang Lin was excluded from the palaces and had been forced to choose a cave to stay in. This revealed a lot of problems. His cold words entered Wang Lin's cave and ears. Wang Lin opened his eyes. His gaze was completely calm. This kind of absolute calmness was terrifying. His figure was hidden in the darkness and had fused with darkness. Even his white hair seemed to have been dyed by the darkness. Elder Wang, did you not hear this old man's words? The old man named Ju frowned. He had stood outside the cave for more than 10 breaths, but inside the cave, Wang Lin acted like he was dead and hadn't responded at all. This kind of self-important gesture caused him to feel disgust. He didn't wait for Wang Lin to reply before waving his sleeve. A rumble echoed as cracks spread across every part of the door to Wang Lin's cave. With a bang, the door to the cave collapsed. Everyone the old man named Ju had called out to patrol had come out to greet him politely. Seeing Wang Lin's indifference, he was naturally dissatisfied. When the door to the cave collapsed, the old man walked in with a cold snort. Just as he walked in, he suddenly stopped. He saw Wang Lin, who was sitting inside the cave, staring at him with a cold gaze. This cold gaze caused the old man named Ju's heart to skip a beat, and sweat covered his body. He felt like he was being stared at by Lu Wenran. This feeling made this blood flow accelerate. Who gave you the qualification to destroy my cave? Wang Lin asked calmly, revealing no sign of anger or joy. As he spoke, he walked toward the old man. The old man named Ju's heart skipped a beat. The moment he walked into the cave, he felt like he wasn't looking at a cultivator, but at a primordial beast that had just awakened. Not only did his body tremble, so did his origin soul. This was only a feeling, but it made him feel real terror. As Wang Lin walked closer, the old man named Ju's face turned pale. His feet retreated subconsciously, and with a few steps, he left the cave. He was covered in sweat, and after taking a few steps back, his clothes were soaked. The old man named Ju's pupils shrank and he shrieked, "Wang! Elder Wang, you! What are you going to do?" Wang Lin didn't speak and continued to walk closer. His figure slowly walked out from the darkness and his white hair revealed a bone-white color as he emerged from the darkness. The heart of the old man named Ju began to beat even faster. It was beating very fast and the sound soon replaced all sounds in the old man's mind. It wanted to charge out from his chest and collapse. This powerful feeling made the eyes of the old man named Ju fill with disbelief and fear. Wang Lin stopped before the old man named Ju. He calmly watched his eyes. This gaze and gesture made the old man named Ju feel a powerful pressure. His mind went blank. It was Elder Lu Wenran. In just a few breaths, the old man named Ju could not bear this pressure. He even had the feeling that if he didn't answer, his origin soul would collapse and he would die under Wang Lin's gaze. After he spoke, Wang Lin's gaze moved past the old man and into the most luxurious palace. That was where Lu Wenran was located. The moment Wang Lin looked over, Lu Wenran seemed to notice something and opened his eyes. His gaze seemed to meet with Wang Lin's gaze through the palace. The old man named Zhu didn't dare to breath. Although the pressure from before had dissipated, the feeling of terror was something he could not forget. This person definitely didn't use relationships to become an elder of the Great Soul sect. His cultivation is simply terrifying. The old man named Zhu was pale. When Wang Lin looked at him, it was like a sword made of killing intent was pointed at his forehead. It was something he would never forget. He was filled with endless regret. He shouldn't have listened to Lu Wenran's words to provoke such a terrifying person. Wang Lin's gaze moved away from the palace several seconds later. He was very calm as he waved his sleeve and walked past the old man named Zhu. As he walked by, his right hand casually patted the old man's shoulder. "Those that destroy my cave will die. Since it is your first offense and you were instigated by someone else, you can avoid death, but not punishment. When I return tomorrow, I want to see the door of the cave fixed." Wang Lin slowly moved forward and disappeared without a trace. Wang Lin didn't refuse the patrol. Since had Lu Wenran assigned it, there would be more if he refused once. After Wang Lin left, the old man named Zhu trembled and coughed out a mouthful of blood. His face immediately turned white as his body went soft and fear occupied his eyes. Without hesitation, he moved toward the distance to find a new door to the cave and repair this cave before Wang Lin returned. He didn't dare to not repair it. However, just as the old man was about to leave, a soft voice echoed in his ears. "Fellow cultivator Zhu, come here for a bit." This caused him to stop, and his expression was bitter. This voice belonged to Lu Wenran. "Why are you implicating me with the matter between you two?" the old man named Zhu sighed. Lu Wenran had called him, so he had to go. He bitterly smiled as he gave up on repairing the cave door and helplessly flew toward the palace. He could only hope he had enough time to repair the door after he left Lu Wenran's place. Otherwise, he wouldn't dare to think of the consequences. Wang Lin's figure drifted through the earth, up toward the prairie. Soon, his figure appeared under the moonlight. The moonlight was very dense, it made the prairie silver in the early half of the night. However, when Wang Lin appeared, the light weakened and was hidden behind layers of dark clouds, so the earth was dark. Wang Lin quietly walked on the prairie, and the sound of the grass rustling could be heard. This was extremely clear on a calm night. Time slowly passed. Soon, all the moonlight was covered by dark clouds and the entire world was shrouded in darkness. Wang Lin's figure fused with the darkness once more and became unclear. Only the moist wind blew by from the distance and swept across the earth. It lifted Wang Lin's clothes and hair, but in this darkness, it was all a blur. Walking on the prairie, Wang Lin thought about Li Muwen. His eyes were filled with sadness as he touched his right hand. That was where his storage space was, where Li Muwen was sleeping. Touching his right hand, he felt the temperature from his right hand. It was as if he was feeling Li Muwen. More than 2,000 years but less than 3,000 years. It had been very long but also very short. Just like how the wind continued to blow across this prairie since ancient times. A sigh echoed. Wang Lin walked on the prairie of this foreign continent. Perhaps because his injuries hadn't healed, there was a hint of loneliness in his heart. "I cover the world in fire only so you won't have a reason to be cold. I shook the entire world with thunder only so you could hear my voice. I walked millions and millions of kilometers across worlds only to find your breath. I entered the devil Dao to kill, defied the heavens, and killed celestials. I'll subverted the heavens and earth and stand before you with my lonely figure only to make you open your eyes." Wang looked at the darkness in the distance and silently walked. He liked the darkness and the night because the dark night could cover up his bleakness. In the darkness, others couldn't see his loneliness. Everyone's heart had a box. This box contained the memory of a person. This memory could be sweet and it could be bitter. Some people lost this box along with themselves and couldn't find it. Some people locked the box and swallowed the sky. They don't want to open it and wouldn't allow others to touch it. Some people always held the box in their hands, telling themselves not to forget. Some people buried the box deep underground and waited for that day. When the spring flowers bloom, that beautiful flower will bloom as well. The box contained the love for a person and a cup of sweet and bitter water. My box is still there, Wang Lin muttered. In the darkness, one couldn't see his solitude, couldn't see his bleakness, couldn't see his loneliness. Patrol was boring, but Wang Lin was used to boring. He was used to walking by himself in this world, accustomed to hiding in the dark and silently looking ahead at the endless world before him. The moonlight was covered by the dark clouds, but it couldn't be completely covered, as if it was leading the way. Wang Lin looked at the slivers of moonlight and slowly walked. It was still night, and even more clouds began to gather. Soon, thunder rumbled and the wind howled. The sound of water falling came from all directions. It began to rain. As the rain fell, Wang Lin suddenly stopped walking and looked up at the world covered in rain. He waved his right hand and the restriction compass appeared in his grasp. The compass clearly displayed more than a dozen green dots charging toward him. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he immediately retreated. He was very fast and instantly retreated more than 10,000 feet and changed directions. He stopped and looked down at the compass in his hand. His eyes shined. The more than a dozen dots on the compass had changed directions the moment Wang Lin did. They seemed to notice that Wang Lin had changed directions and rapidly closed in. At the same time, on the compass, more than a dozen green dots appeared in the other three directions around Wang Lin. They seemed to form an encirclement and closed in. This is Lu Wenran's purpose. When Wang Lin had left the palace, he already understood Lu Wenran's plan. Lu Wenran suspected Wang Lin, so he had purposely sent Wang Lin out to see if he could lure the Green Devil Continent cultivators. Although Wang Lin could have chosen not to leave, it was now Wang Lin's personality to stay hidden. Sometimes, using a retreat to advance was better. If I were Lu Wenran, I would have sealed all methods of entering the palace. Wang Lin stepped on the earth and a rebound force prevented him from returning to the underground palace. With a sneer, Wang Lin stared at the nearly 100 green dots in his compass and there was a flash of killing intent in his eyes. These people were coming to kill Wang Lin, but they didn't know that the reason Wang Lin had come out was to quickly finish the 3 missions esteemed Green Bull had given him. 2 out of the 4 directions have mid-stage void turbulent cultivators. The other 2 have early-stage void turbulent cultivators. Since Liu Jiyuan is dead, the Green Devil Continent has 6 void turbulent cultivators left. Now they are sending 5 of them out, so they must know I have the compass and guessed that I killed Liu Jiyuan. Wang Lin stepped to the right, and as ripples echoed, he disappeared. All 4 directions of the extreme sky prairie had more than a dozen cultivators flying toward Wang Lin. The old man named Zhao and the old man named Zhong both had gloomy expressions. In the other 2 directions were a man and a woman. The 2 early-stage void turbulent cultivators were leading dozens of people through some kind of guide toward Wang Lin. At the same time, far away from this place, the other female early-stage void turbulent cultivator remained with the thousands of Green Devil Continent cultivators. She was sitting there with an illusory compass before her, clearly revealing the location of Wang Lin's compass. She gave out orders and notified people of Wang Lin's location. The thunder rumbled in the sky and the rain fell. A slaughter began under this rain. Shu Datsai was a rogue cultivator of the Green Devil Continent and had reached the early stage of Void Turbulent. This was his limit and he wouldn't be able to climb unless he encountered a fortune. He had been invited by the Dao Devil sect to join his battle against the Heavenly Bull Continent. He was promised a lot of benefits, so he had joined the army to break open the 3rd meridian. At this moment, he was bringing more than a dozen cultivators with him. Among them were 3 people at the 3rd step, but the strongest one was only at the mid-stage of Arcane Void. The rest were mostly in the Heaven's Blight stages. They were charging forward with Shu Datsai leading the way. Along the way, Shu Datsai was very cautious. Liu Jiyuan's death shocked him greatly. Void Turbulent cultivators were difficult to kill, but 2 days ago, Liu Jiyuan had died. This matter set off a great wave in his heart, so he had to be cautious. However, there was a sense of excitement in this caution. This excitement came from the promise the old man named Zhong had made before they left. If anyone kills Wang Lin, this old man promises you I will get Sect Master to allow you to enter the Heavenly Pit for 1,000 years. This excited Shu Datsai greatly. Rumor had it that when the celestial ancestor was extracting the devil scorpion's core, there was an accident. The core collapsed into small parts that created 5 pits across the Green Devil continent. These 5 pits were filled with devilish energy, and cultivating inside would give many benefits. For Shudatsai, whose cultivation had been stuck for a long time, this was a dream opportunity. Whether it would increase his cultivation level or not, he had to try. Wang Lin, if I kill you, I can obtain a great fortune. There is no feud between us, but you must die. Shudatsai licked his lips and there was a flash of coldness in his eyes. Just as killing intent appeared in his eyes, a shocking feeling appeared in Shudatsai's mind. Just as he turned around, miserable screams echoed. The heads of the last 10 people among the group that hadn't reached 3rd step flew off. Blood sprayed everything and their origin souls all collapsed. Shudatsai only saw a white figure walking out of the darkness holding a blood sword. The figure moved at a strange speed, and with one strike, 10 people had died. After killing 10 people, Wang Lin was calm, and he disappeared as he retreated. Shudatsai's pupils shrank and were filled with shock. Wang Lin was too fast to a terrifying degree, but at the same time, Shudatsai became excited. Wang Lin. Shudatsai didn't hesitate to retreat. He raised his right hand and pointed at the sky. A beautiful illusionary flower suddenly appeared in the dark and rainy night. It occupied half the sky. Although it looked beautiful, if one looked closely, they would find that it was a flower made of skulls. The moment the flower appeared in the sky, there was a flash of coldness in Wang Lin's eyes. Right now, only 5 people remained. Aside from the void tribulent cultivator, none of the remaining 4 were worth paying attention to. These 4 people's bodies trembled and they all retreated, but their speed couldn't match Wang Lin's. Wang Lin moved and there was a flash of blood light. The blood sword formed a blood dragon and charged out. 2 people were touched by it and were cut into pieces, letting out miserable screams. After killing those 2, the compass in Wang Lin's body gave him a clear feeling that 3 groups of Green Devil continent cultivators were heading towards him. The 3 mid-stage void tribulent old monsters were charging at him at full speed. With their speed, they only needed half an hour to close in. There was also an early-stage void tribulent cultivator that had left their team and was charging at him. Half an hour, Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he charged at Shudatsai. At this moment, Shudatsai released the flower signal. He determined that since he had found Wang Lin, delaying him would be a great merit. Shudatsai sneered. He didn't care about other people dying. As Wang Lin closed in, Shudatsai didn't hesitate to raise his right hand and then suddenly let it fall. The moment his right hand fell, it formed seals rapidly. In a short period of time, his hand formed almost 1 million seals, forming a huge lion. This lion was almost 1,000 feet large and it let out a roar as it pounced toward Wang Lin. Wang Lin had never seen this kind of speed in forming seals. Shudatsai's strange spell was simply too fast. The lion roared and closed in on Wang Lin. There was a flash of bloodlight and a thunderous rumble echoed. This set off a huge wave across the earth, and the rain in the sky collapsed on a wide scale. This caused this area to become a strange world without any rain. Shudatsai had just used a spell, but he didn't pause, he retreated 3 steps. After 3 steps, his right hand suddenly pressed down on the earth. During that short motion, his hands had created nearly 4 million seals at a terrifying speed before touching the earth. The earth rumbled as 4 giant mudmen quickly appeared from the ground. They had cold gazes as they charged at Wang Lin, who had collided with the lion shadow. The moment Wang Lin charged away from the lion shadow, the 4 mudmen rushed in without giving him a chance to recover. Even though Wang Lin had experienced many dangers in his life, it was the first time he had encountered something like this. What fast casting speed! How can his hands be this fast? Wang Lin's pupils shrank. As the 4 mudmen closed in, he saw Shudatsai retreat 3 steps. His left hand moved and created nearly 5 million seal. The seals turned into an incense stick, which he caught in his hand and bowed toward Wang Lin. With this bow, Wang Lin's mind trembled. A mysterious force rushed into his mind. Shortly after, the smoke from the incense stick turned into a whale-like beast. It opened its mouth and was about to devour Wang Lin. This video will end here.